Ahoy, ahoy! Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. We're back on Clyde proper. You can tell because his skin isn't quite as ruddy. And, also, he's an unread mage. And, let's see. Ugh. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out, shall we? Yeah, we could go complete that quest right now. Or we could just go ahead and run off to party down with Alpha Node. Which I think we'll do, because you can run the quests concurrently. And I want to get us into another new zone as quickly as possible. So something I've also learned is that regardless of what button you press, if you're zoning in Final Fantasy XIV with the load time, your button presses for stuff like share or the PS button, it won't go through at all. The loading taxes your PS4 and it won't bring up any cursory functions at all. And so that's part of why my share button caused that tomfoolery. Also, I like how the Amalja here on the first have feathers all over their shoulders. I know we haven't seen much of them in the way of the main storyline, but, you know, they're a long time old beastmen. You know, they're the guys on the source that summon Ifrit. So it's like, there I was, expecting a chocobo. But I just rode one to Amarang like twice. Well, they have this written up to be as if it could possibly be your first time, you know, so that's cool. What do we got over here? What's this? Oh, that's the sightseeing log. It's on the third deck. Okay. Or, well, top deck. Whatever. We can pick that up. Some other time. I don't really care about sightseeing logs at all. It's basically go to specific location, use lookout, prayer, or sit, or whatever the fuck. We're gonna go to a place called Coluzia. You get a little bit of EXP for sightseeing log locations. It's not very noteworthy. And once you get enough, once you fill out a book, you get an achievement. So there's an achievement for Heavensward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and A Realm Reborn areas. But
the whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At Light's Edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Pay attention to this musical theme, because, mild spoiler, once we actually finish the 5.0 storyline, this music will change to a different melody, and you will never be able to hear this somber version of it ever again. At least within the context of the game. Gotta watch out for folks that want to get in that city, huh? Yulmore, okay. Rivals the Crystarium. was once an ally in the battle against the Sin Eaters. Or abominations, I guess. I guess he means Sin Eaters. For years, the Umoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. Seems legit. Divulge a secret. Okay. Once we get Red Mage up to 73 from the storyline, we'll switch over to Dragoon. Fisherman's Shack. A friend at the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Eivor? I'm gonna go with Eivor. Eivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Calusia and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of time that will let him know you can be trusted. This Malgia is such a bro. Oh wait, check this out. They've referenced the very first Final Fantasy, and they put in hobgoblins, which are the imps in the English translation and goblins in all future translations from Final Fantasy 1. So it's pretty cool. I certainly didn't expect to get those guys in my Final Fantasy 14. Oh, he's another... We're running into a lot of Hrothgars on the first. What are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you have a taste for them. Actually, I do love eel in real life. Like, eel sushi or fried eel is freaking delicious. They're over there living in opulence, huh? We're gonna go to a fishing village. Leaky Keel. Okay, okay. Seems legit. Oh, that's like even further up the... Got some like sun bleached goobos. Look at those cliffs, man. Now, this is an analog for all of Vilbrand. It's most reminiscent of Western La Nocia, skirting along that ridge through middle to lower. All combined into one, basically. Oh, we got a green Hrothgar. They come in green? Wow, okay. Guess they come in all colors. Guess you could make a pink one. What do you say? How many paying customers have you possibly have in an environment like this? Let's get some meat. Meat is sweet. Okay. That seems really contrived. But okay. Man, I wonder what being in constant light really would do to plants. Because remember, it's also a cold light, right? Like, it's not even actually, you know, real sunlight. Really? Thought we were done with this kind of shit back in A Realm Reborn. Just kidding. I knew we weren't. But it still surprises me. There weren't any quests like this in Alice's branch, that's for sure. Time to burst in and save the day, really? Rats? Oh my. So I guess the guy who she thought was living there, that she wanted me to help out, is dead now. And she didn't even know because leaving the protection of her bar and her village would be too deadly in this environment. And I bet living in the village when it gets attacked by Sin Eaters occasionally is even, you know, is still not safe. He's dead. Oh no, he's just gone to join Hopefuls, huh? Trying to get into Yulmore? Aw, should give me a second drink on the house. Clyde's having sweet mead. Oh wow, that blue bottle looks like Andorian ale.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend.
Okay, so I get the new duds, right?
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well. Alisaie said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
So, I get how him and Alisaie got new clothes, but how did they get their same exact White Raven earrings? Guess I could have asked the Exarch to fashion them.
Both the Exarch and Alisaie told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the Source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Yeah, toxic gas. Black Rose, baby.
Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Another one, I never really stopped.
And so we take to the road once more.
You and your magical earring that defies space and time. The fact that he has a blue, like, cloth around his hair, and Alisaie has a red cloth around his hair makes me think, and the fact that they're twins, makes me low-key think of Zorn and Thorn from Final Fantasy IX, except obviously they're good guys, and I wouldn't think that they're monsters from the moon that are actually one two-headed monster, but what if they were? What if that's how all Sharlayans are actually just, you know, so good at magic and stuff? They're all just monsters and hiding in disguise. They like the affairs of men. I don't take this too seriously or anything, by the way. It's just idle musings. There's literally nothing in the game that actually supports it. Sometimes it's fun to make your own stories, you know? But, so he just lamented the fact that, you know, 7 planets that are basically complete copies of the source have been destroyed, and lamenting their lost history. But what about the lost history of the original source before it was split? Fairly robust Sin-Eater. Manic Madame. Manic Madam. For a strapping young lad. I guess it was back when I was shouting for extremes to show them off back in Realm Reborn, but I asked for strapping lads and lasses, and of course people were like, "You heard him, get this strap," as in like a strap-on dildo. But, large-ass chameleon. Iguana? Those are not iguanas? Not even close. They're freaking chameleons, dude. If you're gonna make them call them iguana, you could have at least made them look like the Final Fantasy I lizards. Shantytown. I don't think we'll get through all of Alphinaud's story in this video. It's longer than Alisaie's.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Eulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Twins are protective of Clyde.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Speaking of Zorn and Thorn, though. Okay, it's another low-key reference to him. Or this one's a little more out in the open. They're straight up wearing Jester outfits after all.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all! Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu!
Word. It's like Zorn and Thorn with tits. But why does the blue one have a purple hat instead of a blue hat? Maybe they couldn't fix how her hat dies.
Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
I wonder if you had, you know, level 70 culinarian at this point, if you could pipe up about it.
Fish, is it? Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Doc, you speak like a poet, but you punch like one too.
Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident!
Meal.
For you.
Ah, Lord!
Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Over here!
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Meal is made of people? Soylent meal? The context clues all point towards that. They took a Rogadin over anybody else. How did she know to look back at us? Two decades, huh? Ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Take a turn around Gatetown, huh? Very well. Got some Vieras. Can I target them? Bubbling cook pot. A large pot bubbles over the flame. Pale chunks. Meal, you realize, float in the otherwise plain broth. Pale chunks, huh? And it cooks in a broth. So it's got to be made out of meat. So it'll be a meat of some sort. Even though it sort of looked like bread when they were holding it. Yeah, I can actually. The Crystarium is much more beautiful. That thing is a gaudy piece of trash. Ooh, ether current. Let's see. I guess. Can we just jump up there? Or do we jump up on the fence? Oh, okay. I'll figure out how to get that later. It's not pertinent right now. I think we have to find a way to jump on top of the roofs. Could be wrong, though. Just don't have a lot of time to monkey around with it. I can't remember right offhand how the jumping sequence to get to it. Best thing you've ever tasted, huh? Sounds exactly like Soylent Green. That music that's been playing right now is the normal daytime theme to Colossia, and I can't understand why it would have started. Maybe it was a glitch. I don't know. It sounded super hopeful and fun, you know? Ondo, huh? Although you and I know them as Sahagin. Or Sahagin. I think it's supposed to be Sahagin, actually, because... I mean, I've always said Sahagin because they put a G in it, but I'm pretty sure that it's, like, literally in Japanese, it means, like, fishman. Or it could be a D&D monster, but... You know, Jin is, like, the word for man, so... The only thing about your plan that seems to be wrong, Alpha Node, is that even though it sounds like it would make you super useful to them, we're being spied upon by a cat boy. You can tell because of his fucked up hands. But But the only problem with Alpha Node's plan here is that, I know I went through the text a little fast, but he wants, he's going to trade with the Sahagin to work with me here, brain. To trade them, you know, oranges and wheat and foodstuffs for, you know, pearls. And, you know, while that could be enhancing the wealth of the city, it's not like they actually need the wealth. And more beyond that, the main problem is the fact that the twins came out and they told us what the city was looking for, right? Maybe we can petition and be like, hey, you should hear this. Maybe you'll want it or whatever, you know. But it's not really a solid plan. Well, this hamlet looks bigger than the others. It's got some sturdy looking buildings. See, it's got an aetheryte as well. I guess Stiltide had an aetheryte, but this looks like a town. It's got a fence. Tiny cat girl with red eyes. A lackey. Mistel. Okay, so that must be first for Catboy. Oh. Excuse me, I have no idea what brought that on. Quite unexpected. Oh, there he is. You're damn right I got a keen eye. I feel like they put a lot more aether currents in our direct path. But that's helpful. No need to complain about that. I don't wanna fight two Calibri. If I had to mix Toucan with Colibri. All right.
There you are. The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmoran's interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
Kind of hope Alphinaud switches out of that poncho soon. I don't like it. I don't think it looks good at all.
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless? I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alphinaud, ever the slave to sentiment.
Your impression needs work.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then?
Have I been mispronouncing that town's name this whole time? I mean, I haven't said it in the video here, but...
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble. Come on, they may need our help.
Sure thing, Daddy-o. For some reason, the town Wright, yeah, like Wright Brothers, I thought it was white. Like you know, like an undead abomination. My mistake. The whole Plaza Pizza thing again. Go to the Aetheryte Plaza. I read it as Aetheryte Pizza and I get hungry. Guess I could use some Veracures on him. He's got some fancy clothes on. That's an artiste, huh? Woof. Lord Vothry, huh? Or is the AU like the AU in Faust? Because it could be Lord Vathry, but I'm gonna go with Vothry. Until we hear it said, baby. Chilly coastal air on a tropical island. Or, well, semi-tropical island, anyway. I mean, they grow oranges here, right? So, it's gotta be at least subtropical. Of course, with the everlasting light weather in effect, maybe the clouds make everything cold. But if they did, then I would assume they wouldn't be able to grow oranges anymore, so yeah, whatever. Thinking too deeply about all this. Favorite paintbrush, huh? Oh, he lost his will to paint. Oh, what a good bloke. Modest skill with the brush. You remember his drawings of Yugiri and Gosetsu, right? He says modest skill, but it's like he could get paid for drawing if he wanted to. He could be this world's Sakimi-chan. Although these days she seems to mostly be doing these really weird, like porn advertisement style animations and quote marks that just puts some like motion tweens and wobbly billowing effect on the boobies or whatever, and just not safe for work, like advertisement style animation for her patrons. Which makes me wonder if she still has her high-paying salary job that was based on drawing. That lady's been making bank. which just makes me jealous, honestly. Well, not jealous, envious. I wish I had such talent and hard work and dedication that I could draw giant boobies with all the ease that I play video games. That's one of the things that kind of sucks, is like, I'm really good at video games, and, or like, I mean, pretty dang good. But, you know, they don't really, unless you break into streaming or get big for something that, you know, rides more on your personality or your willingness to kowtow to a group of people, it doesn't really do a lot for you to play video games as much as I do, other than, you know, your own personal pleasure, which I take great pleasure in it, so, and always have. It so bothers me that the Blue Twins hat is purple. It should be blue. Colors the show, huh? Artiste? You don't think there's any old used paintbrush glamours in this world? Assistant. Parasite then, huh? Meal, we almost took our leave without leaving a loving token. I guess the only real difference between it and Soylent Green is there are no other colors of Soylent. Or, I mean of meal. You know, they don't have red meal or yellow meal. We got like 2 or 3 minutes left in this recording.
Redemption is beyond us. The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days.
You got a strip club.
Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
Or maybe they're just trying to, they realize that life is lived in an uncaring void and you just have to distract yourself long enough and soon you'll be dead. Blue Jonglier, huh? I don't want to risk talking to her and starting another cutscene. So let's just walk around this part of the town that looks sort of shanty-like. Maybe grab some Aethernet shards. Looks like they got like a ship graveyard going. The Glory Gate, huh? Derelicts, huh? Well, I guess if this isn't the city proper, there's not a whole lot they could do. Or maybe this is where the servant folk live, basically? Like, the people like what Alphinaud is, basically? You know, that sold their skills to get in here. Of course they wouldn't sleep with their masters, right? They'd have to, well, unless prompted to, right? So... So this is basically a shitty version of Limsa Lominsa. Except instead of pirates, you got privates. Uh-oh, the furry fandom is recruiting. Colby, stop breaking into my game! Also, thanks for watching, and I hope you don't mind me dithering around until the recording actually comes to a stop. Because I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit afraid to press the share button. Also, I was sort of joking about this place being a garbage heap, but it really is. It's a gaudy garbage heap. I wonder if we can actually enter the city without talking to the twins. Swing. Yep, we can. So we just cruise around here and get access to all the Aetherites. Also, this music, it will also change once we get to the end of 5.0. So if you like it, well... at least I think it changes. I could be wrong on that one. I have, but I haven't even tuned to the big one. Okay, well... is there no big Aetherite to attune to? The canopy, huh? Oh, there is. Yeah. According to the message engraved in the base, special permission is required to use this Aetherite. So, I guess they don't allow you to attune to it unless you're a full citizen or something. Also, you'll notice there's a lot of adventurers here. That's because this is basically the in-game hub. There's no market board here, but over yonder near those two columns, you can buy all the in-game tombstone gear and weapons. And then there's raid armor to get over there as well with raid tokens. And yeah, that's about it. Like, people choose to hang out here and AFK here a lot because there's also script vendor for white scripts, because those are the next scripts that we can get. Let's see, white scripts.